UFC 291 has Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje as the main event. They are currently fighting at 155, and Jesus, this is the most stacked card of the year so far. Today, we're going to be looking at the main event division, which is lightweight, which is 155 pounds. If you guys haven't seen my last two breakdowns, one of them is kind of outdated because of new champion Alexandre Pantoja, but those are going to be in the card corner deals, whichever corner it is. I don't remember which one it does on my video. It's probably this one. I'm going to be going through the top 10 fighters in the division, giving you guys a rundown of who's who and what is what. This is my favorite division, so I know more about this category of fighters than I do about others. Currently, our champion, Islam Makhachev, who is cousin to Khabib Nurmagomedov, has been very dominant over the past few years in his UFC run. However, he has had some difficulty getting those top fights, and when he did, damn did he make it look easy. He submitted former champion Charles Oliveira, which still depresses the fuck out of me to this day. In I think the first round, it was pretty dominant. He has been a powerhouse in the division. It's gonna be extremely difficult to dethrone him. He recently had a fight with 145-pound champion Alexander Volkanovski. Volk moved up a weight class to challenge Islam, and damn, he gave him a run for his fucking money. I personally had Volkanovski winning that fight, but it went to Makhachev. Has Volk unlocked the blueprint on Makhachev, and will Charles dethrone him? Time will tell. At number 1, we have the People's Champion, and his name is Charles Oliveira. This guy has been a dark horse of the division for years now, eventually climbing his way up the ranks and reaching that championship status. Charles Oliveira is definitely the man for the people. Right now, he is my favorite active MMA fighter. Charles Oliveira and entertaining go together like fucking peanut butter and jelly, dog. That man has been an inspiration to many Brazilian mixed martial artists and continues to do so today. He is well loved and well respected and comes from humble beginnings, so that's a fucking plus. On to number 2 in the division, we have Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier has been fighting for fucking ever and has stayed at the top level forever. This guy is as well rounded as an MMA fighter can get. His ground game is extremely good, being the only person to ever submit Michael Chandler and damn near submitted Khabib Nurmagomedov. His boxing is probably the best in the UFC. Sorry, Max Holloway. Being the first person to TKO Conor McGregor. He has had countless wars and continues to push forward. This man had one of the best fights, let alone one of the greatest rounds of all time against Dan Hooker. Any fight with Dustin Poirier is going to be a battle and a real scrap. On to number 3, we have the bonus guy himself, Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje is the hardest hitting 155er on the planet, possibly over people that hit in 170. Justin Gaethje just hits so hard and he kicks so hard with everything that he has. Him and Dustin Poirier are fighting at 291. They have fought once before, Dustin Poirier being victorious. However, this one is going to be extremely different and a very different matchup. The Justin Gaethje that fought Dustin Poirier before was pretty much outclassed in all aspects. And now Justin Gaethje has improved so much with his striking that I think he has a real big chance of winning against Dustin Poirier. This is going to be one of those very few 50-50 fights that I'm not sure who's going to win. And damn, dude, both of these guys are former interim champions, so they were at the very top of their division. Justin Gaethje to be the first person to stop Tony Ferguson in his tracks on his 12-fight win streak, and did so at his own game. He is the highlight reel, he collects bonuses, he is one of the most entertaining fighters, period. At number 4, we have Beneil Dariush. Beneil recently lost to Charles Oliveira by TKO. For a very long time, he has been disrespected by the UFC, and I think he continues to be doing so. He has way more top 10 fights than he does top 5. I think he's only fought top 5 twice, and he's won so many of those top 10 fights. He's definitely a fighter that does what he needs to do to win. That's kind of the reason why the UFC disrespects them. At least that's what I feel. At number 5, definitely a contender for the most entertaining fighter in the lightweight division, we have Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler was originally Bellator champion, and damn, he's had some amazing wars over there. Very brutal, pretty much another guy that's for the people. Michael Chandler and boring fights cannot coexist with each other. From the bell ring of the very first round to the end of the 5th, this guy's coming forward at you, and he will not stop until you are done, or until he is. Up until the Dustin Poirier fight, he was not submitted. And even at that, when he was submitted by Dustin Poirier, he was extremely gassed. Me and a couple people that I talk MMA shit with kind of think he has the best chance against Islam Makhachev. Can't be submitted when he's good and ready to go. He's definitely one of the more entertaining fighters, and damn, he is so good, but not at the same time. It's so funny. At number 6, we have Rafael Fiziev. For a very short time period, he was the dark horse of the division. Everybody thought that he was the guy to destroy Islam Makhachev, and then he fought a guy by the name of Justin Gaethje, and damn, did Gaethje piece him up. I think he can really gain a spot into the top 5. At number 7, we have Matthias Gamera. Matthias Gamera is a really underrated fighter and under-talked about fighter. He currently had his hype train stopped by Beneil Dariush, and is now set to fight Jalen Turner for some fucking reason. Like, this guy just wasn't in a war. Up until the Beneil Dariush fight, he was undefeated, so at least in the UFC. He is 22-2, and damn, does he have an impressive resume so far. I'm very excited to see what he does, and I kind of want to see him match up with maybe Rafael Fiziev or even Michael Chandler at this point. Although I'm sure Michael Chandler is looking for those really big fights. At number 8, we have Armand Saryukin. When him and Gamera fought, it was almost like an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, and the immovable object was moved. Saryukin has some really impressive wins over Matt Frivola and Diego Ferreira, which is really interesting to see. I think he still has a lot more left in him, and I think he's going to be able to reach the top 5 pretty soon. At number 9, we have former lightweight champion Rafael dos Anjos. The fact that this guy can stay relevant for so long really just shows how elite this guy was in his prime, to the fact that he's still a danger today. Obviously, I think the fight to make for him right now is either him and Saryukin or him and Dan Hooker. I think that's what makes the most sense. I think him and Jalen Turner would be pretty good as well. This guy has been around forever and was originally supposed to fight Conor McGregor when he was holding the championship. But yeah, he is a legend of the sport. He has so many fights in the UFC. He has done so much for the company. He had one of the best fights against Renato Moicano. His most recent loss is to Rafael Fiziev, and has a recent win over Brian Barberena. Now, these rankings were updated just recently, so at number 10 we have Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker has been in the lightweight division for a very long time as well. He has had very much entertaining fights throughout his career, most notably his fight with Dustin Poirier, and most recently his fight with Jalen Turner. Dan Hooker is definitely a guy that you should be looking out for, especially with his performance against Jalen Turner. We got glimpses of the old Dan Hooker back. For a while, he was on a very big losing streak. Maybe him and Dos Anjos make sense. Who knows? On to the honorable mention, we have Mr. Matt Frivola himself. He is ranked 15. But keep a very close eye out on him. He is on a tear through the division right now. He unfortunately lost on one of the quickest debuts by Terrence McKinney. And somehow Matt Frivola knocked out Drew Dober. Drew Dober is another lightweight with a granite chin, so to be able to knock him out is fucking insane. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a blast doing these videos. Thank you so much for the support on the last video. I'm glad to see that gaming content is at least doing somewhat well on my channel again. It's not my primary choice of content creation, but if the people want it, who knows? I am sick, but I'm getting better. Guys, do me a favor. Drop a like. That's it. That's all I ask. You can subscribe too if you want to. You know what I'm saying? If you want to keep updated. We're going to be looking at the light heavyweight division next week. Keep an eye out on that. Remember, MMA Mondays. I don't upload them on Tuesdays. I don't upload them on Wednesdays. I uploaded it on a Tuesday that one time, but we don't talk about that. We just pretend that was just a late Monday. You know what I mean? That was just a late Monday.